Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your time. Those on-site and online, welcome over here. And I've only have 30 minutes, very strict with the time. So thank you to organizers for inviting me. Quick introduction about myself. I'm Allan. I'm from Malaysia, and I used to work in AirAsia, leading their esports strategic initiatives, and also in Galaxy Racer, formerly their CMO based in Dubai. And been a pleasure to be involved in the industry. Actually, I don't know about esports, maybe just like some of you all, but thank God I managed to get involved in the space, and I'll do a quick sharing. So just a quick one. This is how it looks like an esports event in China, Beijing. This is of course before the pandemic. A full stadium, looking at an esports event, League of Legends. They're looking at the screen, looking at people playing games. Just a quick one. This is how the video looks like. I actually took this during the Olympic Stadium in Beijing. So they're looking at a big screen. So this is outside of Malaysia, but just a quick macro overview before I go into Malaysia. This is in New York, USA, a Fortnite World Cup tournament. And they have about 30 million US in prize pool. This Dota tournament in China, Shanghai. A big one, the same one coming up in Singapore in October. This is a Mobile Legends event in KL, Malaysia, in one of the stadiums. This is in PWTC in Malaysia, another event. This is in Genting. It's actually happening again next week by ESL, together at Genting Arena of Stars, full house. About 6,000 people will be going up to the hills to watch esports, Malaysia. People actually fly in from Thailand, Singapore, they take holidays, they leave off on Friday onwards, and they take over the hotel rooms and stay there and watch. This is the event at Arena of Stars. This is in Tropicana City Mall, One Utama, Paradigm Mall. Of course, this is all pre-pandemic. The same thing is going to happen once the markets open up and they allow public events in public spaces. Paradigm Mall as well. You can see the amount of people. In Sunway Pyramid, all the floors are all full of people watching. Massive crowd. Q City Mall as well. And this is Indonesia. The whole mall is watching the game. So what is esports? So a lot of people get confused. Well, it's actually competitive gaming. And I see a lot of parents here today. So I hope to address any concerns you may have if your children are involved or claim to be involved in esports, right? Oops, excuse me, the clicker. Thank you. So for those who are not sure about what is esports, how to spell it, there's a way to spell it. If not, the community will get angry at you. So at the start of a sentence, big E. In the middle of a sentence, small e, and a small s. So it's not a big S. Because same like email back then, you got hash, you got hyphen, you got big M and all that. So same thing, the esports community, they want to be known for their correct spelling, just like I spell your name. I don't spell with a small letter at the start and then a big letter in the middle of your name. Similar for them. What's the difference between esports and gaming, especially for parents? There's a big difference. So esports is competitive. You only play during an event or tournament for prize pool or for gold, silver, bronze. Example, like in the Commonwealth Games recently, there's an esports event in correlation to Commonwealth Games, also in SEA Games. Gaming is casual, meaning that you play for fun. If your kid tells you or your child tells you, Dad, Mom, I'm doing esports, then you see them on a couch potato playing 24 hours, just grinding it out. That's not esports. That's social gaming, like playing Candy Crush, etc. There's no objective to it. Same like football. There's a competitive football. You go to the padang, you train, very strict with your hours, or you play for fun at a padang bola, at a football, at a football field. And that's not serious competitive. So in the world of esports, there's a few genres, a few types. There's the shooting type like CSGO or Counter-Strike. There's the Battle Royale, 100 players in the game, they go down, get parachuted down to a map, and the map gets smaller and smaller until the last man standing. There's sports simulators like what you see in real sports, like traditional sports like football, even golf, basketball, they have their versions in esports. You got MOBA, it's called Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, usually about 5 players per side, and then they play on a map. Also fighting games like your Street Fighters, etc. There's 3 types of versions. There's console, your PS4, Xbox. There's PC, then there's mobile. In Southeast Asia, everyone's mobile is really popular. Is esports only for kids? No, it's actually played by young adults as well. And why are brands getting involved in esports? Because you need to reach the Gen Z and millennials. Like back then, my mom would tell me, Allan, go to 7-Eleven and go buy newspaper. Doesn't exist anymore, you know. No one goes to 7-Eleven, so frequent to buy your newspapers. And then they no longer watch your TV3 or RTM so frequent. I mean, anyone from TV3 or RTM here? Just being honest, right? And then they use pop-up ad blockers. Also, they prefer watching esports over traditional sports. The demographics, who are they? Who is watching all this? So there's a lot of people around the world watching, and of course, in different parts of the world, they watch different type. In Malaysia, usually they either watch a game called Mobile Legends, the esports title, or Mobile Legends, which is owned by TikTok ByteDance, or PUBG Mobile, which is owned by Tencent. And then you can see the audience growth year on year is really growing. And actually, among all the industries during the pandemic, I mean, not really proud of it, but actually esports is one of the booming markets because people couldn't go out, they are stuck at home. So they actually played games and watched esports events, which were live streamed online. So you can see the global market, APAC, where the actually sweet spot of it all, because we got a lot of young people in this region, and they usually play on the mobile phone or watch on mobile, because like the data roaming, the data packages by the telcos, they give free viewing on Facebook, YouTube, etc. And some people ask, in esports world, where does the money come from? A lot still come from sponsorships, like from your BMWs, your Mercedes, and for ticket sales, only for big events. That's why you see in the malls, it's free entry. They don't charge for the tickets. And the rest are all byproduct. In the esports ecosystem, you have the esports team, just like your English Premier League, you got your Manchester Uniteds, your Liverpools, and also you have the tournament event organizer, as well as you have the live streamers and the casters, the shoutcasters, the hosts, the TV hosts, for example. And then you got the broadcasters, like your Astro, your TV3, etc. So in the world of esports, which brands are involved? There's a couple of them which you might be familiar with. You can see on the screen. You got your Gucci's, your LVs, even BMW, Mercedes-Benz involved. Then you might ask, Allan, why are these brands involved in esports? Well, for one simple reason. They want to target a young generation, hoping that one day, when they have disposable income, they will spend, maybe buy that car that they so desire. And they will think that, oh wow, this brand supported my favorite team or favorite event. Okay, I'll buy that car. I'll buy that product, for example. So there's a lot of potential conversion there to buy that items. So why some brands are more open to esports than others? Well, simply because the people in charge of the marketing funds, etc., have a better understanding, or maybe they are familiar with it. Like you can see over there on the screen, no age mentioned, but like some more matured people get it because their kids are involved in it. So they know that, oh wow, yes, I know esports, I'll support it. Because the customer life cycle, the average customer life cycle is longer when you get them earlier on in esports. That's why you see like Coke, Adidas, Nike, they know all this, they did the market research. So like BMW, they even spend their marketing dollars on esports, knowing that it's a good way to get involved with the younger generation. And how they do it is because BMW, for example, they have 100 million followers on their social media. And all these esports team have more than that, maybe 5 times or 10 times. So they will connect with all the audience of these esports teams, and they say that, hey, go support BMW's social media. And then suddenly BMW will have maybe 500 million or even 800 million followers, for example. You can see that even Mercedes is also involved. When I was in EVOS as the marketing and regional head, we also linked up with Visa to connect with the audience, and then they use Visa for their merchandise purchases. So brand activation in esports. How do brands get involved in the space? There's either esports teams, influencers, events, or broadcasts. And there's also PR, digital advertising, real estate arenas, the stores, or even content marketing. Everyone talks about content these days. Even during my time at EVOS, we partnered with Lazada. So Lazada want to target the young generation to use the platform to buy stuff. You all like shopping, right? Your Shopee, Lazada, etc. So they want people to go to Lazada platform as a gamer, and after that you start buying their stuff, their barang, for example. So with Visa, like I shared earlier, they want Visa users to use Visa to buy their products, the EVOS merchandise. And then you get special discount. Visa will give like a 50% discount. They will subsidize all these purchases for the fans. Even Yamaha got involved in it as well. So you see a lot of brands getting involved in the space. So how does one get buy-in from management or even from your peers, for example? So you need to educate them because back then when I was in AirAsia, when I tell people about esports, they say, huh, what's that? And then I tell people it's actually like gaming. They're like, gaming? Oh, is it the one gaming, So some people think it's a bad word or bad name because they don't really understand it. So a lot of education was involved. And after that, we do events. We go check out other events. Like there's a big event in Genting next week. So some people actually go up to experience it as well. Yeah, so back then in AirAsia, just a quick case study. Not many people knew about esports. So I actually used about 4,000 ringgit of my own money, which you cannot claim back, to create 100 jerseys. So one jersey is about 50 ringgit. And I gave it to all the C-suite executives, the branding, the marketing folks, the CFOs, because you need to sign for the approval of finance, right? And then gave it to Tony Fernandez as well. And then the next day, Dato Kamarudin, his partner, said that, Allan, where's my jersey? You gave to Tony only. I'm like, oh. So I actually gave it to him, and then he found out that it's my own money, and then he actually reimbursed me under the executive chairman budget. I'm like, hallelujah, thank God. If not, I have to eat Maggie mee. 4,000 ringgit, cannot claim back, there's no budget for it. So I actually use this as a way to create awareness in the company. So I told all of them, okay guys, every Thursday in the office, 100 of you, please wear it. So during meetings, people will wonder, what's this? What jersey is this? Oh, it's an esports jersey. What is esports? Create awareness. Yeah. So you can see that both Tony and Dato Kamarudin, the co-founders of the airline, they supported it, they shared on their social media, or the C-suite executive as well back then. Because nobody knew this is in 2017, guys. And we have also an esports club for employees, just like your football club, basketball club, bowling club, etc. So we do it as well. And right now, even like Bank Negara has their own esports club, Petronas as well. So you can see that they come from all walks of life, engineering, pilots, air stewardess, etc. Came together because of one common denomination and passion for esports. So it came out in the news. AUG gets involved in esports back in 2017. I created an esports club for employees. We do our own events at cyber cafes back then, playing Dota, one of the games. In Thailand as well, they did their own esports event for employees. And then one day, we did something different, think out of the box. We actually got sponsorship from some of the esports brands like Razer, Secret Lab, Dell Alienware, and then they sponsored about 12 units, which costed about 60,000 to 80,000 ringgit. And then Tony Fernandez one day walked into this part of the space. He's like, Allan, why is it so cramped? Make it look nicer. Like, okay, need budget lah. And he's like, okay, get it. And then now it looks like this. Yeah, it's like a cyber cafe inside the office, right? Then I kena taro by the HR like, hey, Allan, our staff no need to work. Play game only, is it every day? So I had to like do a lot of education again and tell them that, okay, this is only during lunchtime or when you're during their break, before work or after work, for example, right? Or during their off-peak hours. Like some people, they're on shifts, right? So they actually came and used this thing. I mean, which airline in the world or which corporate company in the world has like a esports gaming space for their staff? Because it's also good for employer branding. You want to target your next set of generation of workers, They're not your traditional type of workforce, right? They want to see what value can you add to their life or their work environment. So yeah. We also, after that, sponsored an esports team. They won top 10 in the world in the game called Dota. It's like a 40 million US prize pool. And then we sponsored Alibaba's esports event as well. And then people ask, Allan, what jobs are available in esports? Is it just the players playing game on the stage? No, it's a whole ecosystem. You even have lawyers, you even have finance people, sports psychologists, video editors, content people, team managers, shoutcasters, hosts, etc. It's a whole ecosystem. Easily, like one esports team, they might have actually 80 or 100 people supporting them behind the scene. Just like your Manchester United, you only see Liverpool, right? Any Liverpool supporters here? Manchester United supporters? Okay, a bit shy, it's okay. One. So, right, you only see like 11 players on the field, but there's a whole big group of people behind supporting them, the management team, etc. Same for the same with esports as well. This is how the setup looks like for shoutcasters. They are casting the events, so it's very professional, as you can see. And then this is how it looks like, esports stadium in the future. This is a concept by the architects involved. Is esport a sport? So there's a lot of debate in the Olympics, right, recently. So back then in 2019, it was recognized as a medal sport in the SEA Games. So Southeast Asia Games, you actually can win medal, gold, silver, bronze for your country. And Malaysia won. You got a doctor who won gold in one of the games, and some teams won bronze. There's budget allocated by the Malaysia government for esports as well, up to about 65 million ringgit to date. And they're very active because they want to target the next generation of a rakyat, for example. A lot of brands are getting involved. This news is back in 2017. So you can see they want to be ahead of the curve. A lot of news on it. Even Netflix. Netflix is now into gaming as well and esports. They told their shareholders that their rival is no longer HBO, etc. It's actually esports and gaming. Why? Because if they're not watching Netflix, what are they doing? They're not watching our rivals, HBO. So they are gaming. They're playing games like Fortnite, for example, and watching other esports events. Even the Liverpool CEO said, guys, we are losing our fans to video games. You can see a lot of like celebrities involved. You might recognize some of them. Even the president of Indonesia approached the youth via esports. There's actually a President's Cup in Indonesia. I was actually at one of the events by President Jokowi, and they were really serious about it to target the next generation. In France, they also go to live stream on Twitch, right, to get to the next generation because they are not going to view traditional TV. In Olympics as well, they're getting involved. They did forums back in Lausanne, Switzerland, just to find out more what is esports. You can check it out on YouTube. Just search on YouTube about esports and you can see people talking about it. The Olympics spent like 2 days about it. And now, that was back in 2018, 2019, and this news in 2021, they announced they're going to do esports in Olympics as a subcategory called the Olympic Virtual Series. So this is, for example, sailing. This is how the game looks like.
The sport of sailing is in a brand new, exciting world, one where the constraints of venue and equipment are removed, but the core skills remain. Launched in May 2018, 169,000 players from 74 nations raced in the inaugural e-sailing World Championship season. After a 1,000-player playoff, history was made as the top 8 e-sailers battled it out live in Florida, where the first world champion was crowned. The 2019 season starts today and will be bigger than ever.
So that's e-sailing. So all these associations are doing their own esports vertical. So you got e-cycling, etc., which you'll see shortly. So this is the cycling association, the global one. So they actually have a cycling machine in front of you with a TV screen. So they actually cycle in front of the machine. And then the thing is that some people try to hack the system, right? They put a USB thumb drive in the machine so to cycle faster. So there's even hacking in esports now. So people are very careful. This is F1, is e-racing, they call it. So during the pandemic, no one can watch F1 in the real life, so they actually went to esports as well. And they actually raced on the sim racing machines. And this is an example.
The first race of the Formula One Esports Pro Series is underway.
F1 Esports is back with the F1 New Balance Esports Series 2019. A truly open competition that gives global gamers a route from bedroom to podium to race alongside the best esports drivers in the world for the biggest teams in motorsport. Here's how it works. It all starts with online qualification, open to anyone with the F1 2018 game on PC, PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. There are 3 qualifying events that mirror the real-world F1 calendar, each running for 2 weeks: Shanghai, Baku, and Catalonia. Each qualifying event is a different racing scenario, designed to challenge the driver, with drivers scored based on lap times, in driving, and how much driver assist is used. The top 6 drivers from each event are then invited to a playoff race in May, 1 race per platform, with the top 10 finishers on each qualifying for the pro draft. Here, they must race to stay in the competition and progress to the live draft show, where they will be joined by any Pro Series 2018 drivers who have been released from their teams. The live draft show will see each of the official F1 esports teams pick at least 1 driver to join their existing driver rosters and represent them in the Pro Series. They'll be battling it out across 4 live events from September to December for the Team and Drivers Championship and a share of the $500,000 prize fund.
Yeah, there's some even that did the esports racing and went to the real track. They raced in the F3000, for example. And this is Malaysia. We won 3 gold medals a few weeks ago. Woo! Clap, clap, clap. Congrats to the winners. We got a women's Dota team that won gold. We have a men's team that won gold as well for Dota, and a male participant that won gold for FIFA. And it was a big deal because this is a tryout for Commonwealth Games. In the future, they might have a gold medal for your country. This one is just a pilot event. The next one is going to be in Australia, so let's see. For Galaxy Racer, I was in a company in Dubai. So we also partnered with Arsenal striker Aubameyang. He's now in Barcelona. And we did events. And then one of our content creators, Fla, he actually raised $1 million within 24 hours, just live streaming on YouTube. So people will go and YouTube and donate. And it's for United Nations, UNHCR, their program, their food program. And then we also did Squid Games in Philippines. We donated like 10,000 US to charity. And also we worked with Manchester United former legend, Mikel Sylvester, for his talent agency. We also work with La Liga. It's global, like your Barcelona, AC Milan, Inter Milan. We work with them as well, the league over there. And our content creator raised like over 10 million US within a span of 10 days. Yeah, he broke 2 Guinness World Records. He was stuck inside a room. He can only come out from the glass room after he raised that 10 million target. So donations poured in from all over the world within that 10 days, raising 10 million US, all for charity, with United Nations. And this is how it looked like after the event. So like, he's like a superstar, right? This after he came out from the room. This is in Dubai. And then you can see them cheering his name. His name is Fla. So you can see that there's a lot of support for these super fans. It's just like your BTS or Blackpinks. So this is the esports version. And then this is the event we did in Dubai. And yeah, I just skipped these photos. And this is the last video, how it's going to look like in the future in the stadium. So you got traditional sports, and then you got esports and gaming setups as well. Sorry. So thank you, everyone. GGWP. If you don't know anything, GGWP is a good game, well played. They say it after each esport event. So thank you.